All right, guys, last celebrity spotlight of the month is, I know this is weird because I'm weird, but I was looking up Robert Frost the other day because I was looking at a particular poem. Then I happened to see his date of birth and I was like, wow, this dude's really interesting. And so I thought, what better person than someone like Robert Frost, who's been known so well for his poetry and his writing, to do him as one of the celebs, because he is in his own right pretty big celeb, I think, because a lot of his poems you can just mention them and people know them. So looking at his chart, interestingly enough, it's just so intriguing to see no 9 in there, because everyone born that we know of has a 1 and a 9, 19, whatever. But he was born in 1874, so he has no 9. So he's working purely on creativity, the 6, and the number of imagination, which is a 3. So he has no 9 to say, be negative Nelly sometimes, because 9 is very black and white, right and wrong, justice seeking, not very bendable sometimes. So he's really in the inspiration zone, totally, like create whatever you want. And he's got the arrow of inspiration too, and also the arrow of practicality, and double 7s, which means he's learned a lot through hindsight, which makes his poems and his work great. And on a soul plane, he's got this most sensitive 2, so he's really tuned in soulfully. But he's got the 8 as well, which is like a direct link. It's almost like a channeling energy. It's like when you write something and you're like, wow, did I just write that? It's pretty cool. And it just comes from nowhere, you know? And like when I was writing my book, I would like get up at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have like 3 chapters in my head. I got to get it out. So that was kind of how he operated with his work. And he had a single 1, which meant the verbal, as a speaker, he wouldn't have been great, but as a writer, yes, absolutely. And looking at his life path, he had the gift of the 11, which is the highest spiritual number, the spiritual guide, the creative energy, and he was a 4, which is very practical, grounded. He was like get in the trenches with the people kind of leader, and with his work, that's how it was. It was like talking about real life stuff. And he died at 88, and interestingly enough, he died on an 11 day. So there's just something interesting when I see those kinds of things. And he would have been in a peak cycle of 4 and a career cycle. So there would have been something shifting there, which meant that was his exit point. He was done. He created what he needed to create. He added to the world his piece. He left his mark, shifting foundation out. So definitely it was his time, and that's just how it was supposed to be. But his early life was kind of tumultuous, and then he hit that beautiful 3 cycle, which was the imagination creating all that beautiful work. And then he was peace out on the 5 because he was done. His career was he did what he came to accomplish, and that's it. So, look him up. He's a cool cat, and his work's awesome, as we know. So I want to say, even though you're past, happy birthday to Robert Frost. And tune in next week, and we'll have another celebrity spotlight here on LotteryUSA.com.